Welcome to our Global Student Involvement Panel and Q&A. This is part of our Global Week of Welcome events. Today we're just going to talk to you about the different areas that you can get involved as a Global Campus student. My name is Andrea Jimenez. I'm the Global Connections Program Coordinator. We do events like this throughout the semester, just co-curricular and extracurricular events for global students. So to get started, I want to introduce you to Andrea Donenworth. She is the Student Involvement Manager at Global Campus. So Andrea, if you want to take it away.
Hi, yeah. So I really don't have too much to go over with everybody, but to let you know that I do kind of oversee Global Connections with programs like this, as well as our student involvement opportunities. I advise our student government as well. So really, if you're ever kind of just thinking, man, I really want to be more engaged, I really want to be more involved, I don't know what to do. If you're looking for a club, you're hoping to join a club or something like that, we don't have a lot to offer, but I can get that for you. My job is to help you find ways to be involved and to be engaged. So I'm going to go ahead and put my personal email up here, my WSU email. You guys can contact me anytime. You're like, man, I really wish I could be part of this club, or I really wish there was a webinar about this, or I just want to know how I can get involved. Just shoot me an email and I will be happy to connect you. And so, yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you, Andrea. So yeah, as part of Global Connections, we do events like these, and we also do game nights. Those of you who have joined us for bingo this week, trivia night. We try to do things that are more on the academic side that go along maybe with the courses, different topics. Dance party, yes, we have a dance party on Friday, or tomorrow. It's going to be really fun, and also a town hall with Dave Soleil. So if you ever have any suggestions, any programming that you want to see, you can send me an email at global.connections. I'm just writing it in the chat at wsu.edu, and I'm happy to hear you out and to work with you on that. So today we are going to present, we have 5 different presenters from 5 different areas. We have Gina Vasquez, ASWSUG President, followed by Justin Knudsen. He's the President of the Secretary of the Psychology Club and President of Psych. Is that how you pronounce it? Kai? Can you confirm? Yes. Yeah. Yes. The Honor Society for Psychology Students. We also have David Jones, Coordinator for Student Engagement for the Center for Civic Engagement. Ramon Sodano, Coordinator of Wellbeing Online. And James Hoplin, he's the Esports Coordinator for WSU. So I'd like to thank all of our panelists for being here. I'd like to thank you all who submitted questions beforehand, and I encourage you to use the chat box to submit questions because we will be looking at that and having a Q&A. So we're going to start off with Gina Vasquez, if you want to share your screen and present for us.
All right, thank you for the introduction, Andrea. Okay, let me see. Bear with me for a second. Okay. So hi everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Gina Vasquez. I am proud to serve you as the 2020-2021 ASWSU Global President. So ASWSU stands for Associated Students of Washington State University. Yes, Global Campus does have a student government. We are all online. We work mostly using Teams and we communicate all virtually. We are actually one of the very few online schools who has a student government, so we are very lucky to be here. And what we do a lot is, most of our work is really providing resources and advocating for our students. Because as we all know, as Global Campus students, you aren't just a student, you are wearing many hats. We have a lot of adult learners, people who are who are fully employed, like full-time employed, people who have children or who take care of their parents, and just people from all walks of life. So we really focus on advocating for everybody and providing those resources. So not only do we have those resources, but we also just went through a restructure. We were a traditional student government where we had a president, vice president, a bunch of senators and a secretary and a treasurer, but we found that just didn't work for us. So now we have moved to an executive board, and as you can see here, This is kind of what that looks like now, and quite a bit of our board is actually here today. So Vice President Heather Leisure, I know you're in there. Director of Legislative Affairs, Samantha. Director of Finance, Laud. I'm not sure if he's joining us today, but Director of Events and Programming, Chelsea. Academic Affairs, Morley. Marketing, Alma, and Communication, Tessa, and Resources and Inclusion is Ariadna. So some of these positions, they actually chair committees, and we will talk about those. So committees, we have 4 of them. One of them is the Student Events and Activities Committee, which is chaired by Chelsea Rollins, who is the Director of Events and Programming. And this year, we really want to focus on providing engagement opportunities for our students. I know one thing that we're looking at doing is doing like Kahoot trivia nights. So be on the lookout for that. But we really just want to hear from our students, and we want to hear about what kinds of events you want to attend and what would encourage you to engage with other students. As we found, I attended the trivia night last night, and it was actually really fun. And I just want to see how we can create more opportunities like that. These committees, by the way, are open to all students. We will be posting on our website on Monday, the first day of the semester, all the dates and times for these committees on the calendar. So please be on the lookout for them if you ever want to join. They're usually recurring. They'll occur like on the same day of the month and at the same time. So they're pretty predictable. But we really want to invite students to come in and share their ideas and let us know how they want to be represented and what kinds of things they want to engage in. So it's students events. And then, like I said, we also provide resources through reimbursements. And we have a resources committee, which is chaired by the Director of Resources, Equity, and Inclusion, Ariadna. And if you don't know, we actually provide reimbursements for all of the following things. Reimbursements are currently closed, but they will open on September 7th, and we'll be doing them through the Microsoft Forms format. And all you have to do is you just have to meet the minimum criteria, and you submit your reimbursement, and you're able to get reimbursed for some of these services. And this is also a committee which students can participate on. So please just be on the lookout. And if you want to let us know what kinds of resources you want, then feel free to drop in and just give us some ideas. And this committee is actually new. It's the Resource Allocation and Accountability Committee. This came from the combination of the S&A committee as well as the Judicial Board Committee. And we found that we just wanted to give students more of a sense of purpose and help to kind of, I wouldn't say make their workload heavier, but to just kind of give them more of a purpose and give them something to do. And what this committee will do is if there were to ever be any kind of dispute between ASWSUG and a student or among students that happened on campus, over some campus dispute, then this committee would solve it. They would serve as a mediator, and they also help interpret our bylaws and constitution, and they really just help hold us accountable and make sure that we as your student government are doing what we say we're doing. So they do that, and they also will serve to allocate S&A fees in the spring. They will work for a few months with staff to allocate all of the S&A fees that you students pay and decide who gets them and where they should go to. And this committee is actually a paid student position. It's a small stipend, but we are currently accepting applications, and I believe it will be open for the next few weeks. But if you want to be a part of something, this would be a great opportunity. You will get to meet lots of new people and just really get engaged in your campus and really get to know how everything works. And you also get to have a say in where your money goes, because as students, we all pay S&A fees. So if you're part of this committee, then you kind of help to decide where that money goes. And ASWSUG is actually funded by SNAs. So at the end of the year or in the spring, we submit a budget request to this committee and they decide if they want to approve it or not and how much we get, as well as a bunch of other committees that are funded by SNA fees. So if you want to get involved, I highly recommend applying. We're looking for new people and it's not a huge time commitment. We can provide the link in the chat box to the application. Just make sure that you're logged into your student email when you click on the link because it is a Microsoft form and you have to be logged in. But if you're interested, just take a look at that and feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. All right, and the last committee is the Diversity Committee. So this one we have been working on. Last year it wasn't in commission. There wasn't a lot being done in terms of diversity, but this is something that I want to work on this year. And this year it will be chaired by our Director of Finance, Laud Williams. He really stepped up, and although it's not his area, he has decided that he wants to chair this committee because diversity is something that is super important, and we want to take steps in order to ensure that we are being diverse and equitable. And this committee will also be open to students. We will be posting the dates and times, like I said, on Monday at the beginning of the semester. So please be on the lookout for that. This would be a great way to get involved and to really let us know how we can better serve you and how we can be more diverse and make sure that we are helping everybody to succeed. All right, and then volunteer opportunities. So these are just some of the things that I mentioned. So volunteer at an in-person event, that won't really be doable right now, as we all know with COVID, but typically during non-COVID times, ASWSUG puts on in-person events for our students to attend. We provide sporting event tickets. We host receptions for students that have graduated. We typically do one on the west side of the state as well on the east side, and that one we typically do in Pullman. But this year we just really want to do a bunch of virtual events and really engage with everybody. So these are some of the ways that you can volunteer. All right, and then student resources. So we do fund 2 scholarships, which you will find on our website. The general scholarship and the internship scholarship. They're small, but they still really help out. And this is something that we like to do for our students because we know that paying for school can be really hard sometimes, especially if you've got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And we also, this is the reimbursement eligibility. So these are some of the things that I was talking about for being eligible for reimbursements. And this will all be posted on our website as well. So I can provide the link for that in the chat too for our ASWSUG website, and you guys can all take a look at that. Let's see. Okay, and we also have a mental health page where we provide some resources. I wouldn't say that these are meant to replace any kind of counseling or mental health services that you may need. But sometimes if you just need a brain break, or if you kind of need a pep talk, or you just need some reassurance, these are here for you. And these are here for you to help you and to really just kind of let you know that you're not alone and that there are resources out there. Okay, and then we have the childcare reimbursement. And I just realized that this might actually be the wrong PowerPoint. Okay, oh, here we go. So these are some of the reimbursements offered. Please ignore the links. Those are wrong. I realized I clicked on the wrong PowerPoint. But these are the links these are the reimbursements that we offer. So we have technology, if you ever need to buy a new laptop or a printer or a tablet. We also do cap and gown reimbursements for graduating seniors, childcare reimbursements, because we know some of our students are parents and sometimes childcare can get really, really crazy expensive. Mental health and wellness, we all know how important mental health is, and oftentimes when you're really busy, that goes without being taken care of, and we just can't do that. And we know that it can also get expensive to have um, those counseling fees. So we do provide a reimbursement for that as well. And if you're part of any leadership or honor society, we actually do the National Society of Leadership and Success. We're offering a reimbursement for that one, but we're looking at expanding our options for what honor societies we can offer reimbursements for. And typically during non-COVID times, we offer travel grants as well. So if you're traveling to like a leadership conference for a school, or if you're traveling to a sporting event, or if you're traveling to an in-person event that's hosted by ASWSUG, then you could qualify for a travel grant and get your lodging and gas and food paid for by us. So these are all really great resources that we offer our students. And they're all paid through SNA fees, so they're all funded by you guys. And okay, this is probably the last one. So we also have a student discounts page. As students, some places just offer student discounts, and we have put together a list of any student discounts that we could find, and we just compiled them all together and made them available for students. And these are a few of them, like Amazon Prime, Spotify, and Hulu are probably the most popular ones. But then there's some other not very well-known ones on here as well. It's really worth looking through just to save an extra buck or two, because it doesn't really hurt. And some of them do ask for verification, but usually it's just your student email and you're good to go. All right, and here is our contact list. If you ever have any questions about anything, if you ever want to get involved, if you ever have any concerns or have any ideas that you want to pitch to us, please always feel free to reach out. That is what we're here for. I know that my team would agree. We are very lucky to have a great team who is really driven and motivated and is super excited to start this year. So if you guys want to let us know how we can better serve you, please feel free to contact any one of us. All of our emails are here. But with that, I will hand it back over to Andrea. And thank you guys all for listening.
Thank you so much, Gina. And I appreciate that you mentioned the current positions open to students as well as the mental health, because those were a couple of questions that we received beforehand. So thank you for that. We will be continuing on with a Talk About Psychology Club. So Justin, if you could please share your screen.
Thank you. All right, give me a second here. All right, that's invisible. Okay. All right, so my name is Justin Knutson, and I'm currently president of Psych High and secretary of Psychology Club, which are two of the organizations that Global Campus offers to psychology students and other students who are interested in psychology. Although they're related, they have different functions. So Psych High is an international honor society. So it is tied to academic achievement. There are GPA and semester credit hour requirements for being eligible to join. We get a list of eligible students, and we send out invitations to all of them every fall and spring. So like if you're an eligible student, you should see that in your email at some point, and you'll be able to find instructions on how to join, how to take care of all the benefits and stuff. This chapter tends to focus more on professional development, and so like helping with grad school, undergraduate research, any other opportunities that are necessary for like furthering your career. And there's a lot of money available in the form of awards and grants, travel reimbursements in case you ever want to like attend conventions or present undergraduate research. There's a lot of like really well-known psychologists who've been Psych High members in the past. B.F. Skinner, Albert Bandura, Philip Zimbardo. So you'd be in pretty good company if you manage to become eligible for it. But the main topic of my presentation today will be Psychology Club. Unlike Psych High, this club is available to all global campus students. You do not need to be a psych major or minor. You can be, majoring in computer science, and as long as you have some sort of interest in psychology, you are free to join this club. There's no GPA, there's no credit requirements, so from freshman year starting, you can join in. And it's a lot more casual and focused on your current undergraduate experience. So we do quite a few things in Psychology Club. One of the major things that we have is we have weekly discussions on Slack. We have dedicated channels, and every week one of the officers come in and we just talk about some of the classes we've taken recently. Sometimes we mention like books that we've read or interesting articles. It's a very casual sort of environment, and what we try to do in Psychology Club is try to make it easier for you to, get through this degree right now that you're facing. Because a lot of times, you can be kind of stressed out with classes. You can feel very isolated as an online student, like not being in person and being able to see other people going through the same things as you. And I think one of the great things that this club allows you to do is to realize that like there are so many other people who are like in your shoes as well and who are dealing with the same sort of stuff. And we've had times where like we commiserate about tests that were really difficult, or family life and issues that get in the way with a lot of other stuff. But they're both really good opportunities for like broadening your perspectives and being able to help get support as an online student. And both of them offer leadership opportunities and ways to help give back to your community. Psych High has 4 officer positions currently, and Psychology Club, I believe, also has 4 or 5. I haven't checked the most recent semester. It's variable too sometimes. So the more interest that you receive there, the more likely you'll be able to apply for a position. And we do all sorts of little events and ways to sort of pass the time and help support each other as students. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in Psych High, you can contact me. Let me just put my email in the chat right now. And if you are interested in Psychology Club, you can also contact me, or you can contact the current president, Adriana Langston, whose email should be put in the chat shortly here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I can answer them later, but for now, I think that's it.
Great, thank you so much, Justin. I put Adriana's email in the chat box in case anyone wants to contact her and join Psychology Club. So if you have any questions about Psychology Club, also feel free to leave them in the chat for Justin. So moving on with Center for Civic Engagement, David, if you want to share your screen.
Thank you very much, Andrea. I did just want to talk a little bit about the Center for Civic Engagement, what it is that we do. Okay. So what we want to do is to get students involved in engagement opportunities with community partners that meet a community identified need that makes a big difference in the community and to the students who do the work. I've got a slide up with the CCE's mission and values. Community awareness, respect, equity, and sustainability are what we are all about. And we offer students a bunch of things. The first is really, we're looking to get students involved in civic engagement while making a difference in your local community, wherever you are. One of the amazing opportunities that we have right now, and that can be done all online, which is a good benefit to many of you, is to help people participate in our elections and our democratic process through Cougs Vote. We've got a lovely Cougs Vote t-shirt on. And there are a bunch of events that we are doing to help people understand what the democratic process is and how they can get involved with voting and helping other people vote and register to vote, but also to take deeper steps into what it means to be politically active and involved in your community and democratic process. And then the things that we normally do are to offer short-term projects, service placements, internships that involve civic engagement and volunteering, class projects, and community-based research, particularly for graduate students. So that is, that's what we do as an office. Who we work with, and this is the Spokane area and the Palouse. We offer opportunities for students to get involved with about 400 community partners just in the Palouse area, defined as maybe 40 miles away from Pullman. And we have a community partner map that I can give you a link for that anyone can access, and you can find civic engagement opportunities in Palouse. If I dial down a little closer to Pullman and the Moscow area there, you could see those little buttons would become much more visible, and you can see some of the 400 partners that we have. In Washington State, we work with hundreds and hundreds of community partners, so no matter where you are in Washington, there is something for you to do. And then nationally and internationally, we have more than 1,500 partners that we have current affiliation agreements with. Those affiliation agreements are good for 2 years, and so all of our community partners are really current, that you can find on our website. The way you can find, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop something in the chat, or, which I will check right now. Drop something in the chat or chime in. Let me know. Happy to answer questions now or at the end. The way to get involved, oh, I guess I'm not quite there yet. Right now, because of COVID restrictions, we're doing a lot more virtual engagement. So this may be stuff that works really well for global students anyway, but global virtual engagement just involves online engagement, so that the work being done with the community partner does not have to be in person. So who do you contact and how do you get involved with these opportunities that I've mentioned? GivePulse is our engagement platform. So if you go to wsu.givepulse.com, you'll see you'll be able to log in using your WSU network ID, and then you'll have access to all of those 1,500 community partners and their service events that they list through our site. So wsu.givepulse.com. And if you have specific things that you would like to do to get involved, whether it's a group project, if you're in the Greek system, oh, thank you very much for posting that. If you are looking for, if you have a group in mind in your community who we are not currently affiliated with, you can reach out to our community partners, and it's very likely that we can send them an affiliation agreement form, and if they agree, then you would be able to work with them, and the CCE would be able to track your engagement hours. If you have a service learning course, Jessica Perrone is a good contact, and we will have food drives, donation drives. If you wanted to be a part of one of those, you can contact just our peer mentor email that's there under the Greeks. Really, if you use the cce@wsu.edu email or the cce.peermentor@wsu.edu emails, then we would be able to direct you to wherever you want to go as well. Okay. So service in the time of COVID, even though there are fewer in-person opportunities, I think there is added importance for the in-person service that people are able to do right now. There are, in particular, blood drives are really important right now, especially as our health services are overtaxed. So their blood drives, they're able to take necessary precautions so that service can be done safely. There are, as was mentioned earlier, a lot of people are really lonely, and we have some opportunities that can connect you to help younger people with tutoring that they may need, that parents might have a difficult time providing, or that schools, because many schools are remote or their resources are taxed as well. We can help with that, or seniors who may be isolated and feel lonely. There's some cool remote experiences that we can connect you with as well. Classes require fewer projects. There's not a lot of CCE-led projects right now, but those aren't really big issues for you. I probably should have taken those out of this. Some examples of virtual engagement opportunities that we have and that are available to global students and others are public square events. Those are related to issues surrounding the election or that elections affect, like food security, Black Lives Matter and policing, voting rights. I think those will be some of the topics that we will cover in those public square events. They'll be offered every couple of weeks on Wednesday evenings, beginning, the first one I think is on September 9th on Wednesday at 4 in the afternoon Pacific time. So I can provide more information about those. There'll be a bunch of Cougs Vote events. I've already talked about that a little bit. And I'm looking to do some stuff with constitutional exchanges. There's a national group who has some information regarding the Constitution itself this year. And as I mentioned, there's some senior and K-12 student interaction that we can get you involved with as well. There are still a bunch of in-person engagement opportunities that our community partners offer, both on the Palouse and elsewhere, including blood drives, preparing food in food pantries, working with community meals, the Moscow Farmers Market and the Pullman Farmers Market as well, and in community gardens. Environmental projects also, they're easy to do with social distancing and mask guidelines. And so we have a bunch of opportunities that you can do both online and in person. You can do them in Pullman, throughout the state of Washington, and nationally and internationally. And we would love to hear from you and to help you get involved. So that's what I've got. If anyone has questions, happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, like you said, if anyone has questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box below. Before we go on to well-being, though, which is our next presentation, I do want to give you guys really quick the code word. So if you've been joining any of our Week of Welcome events, you know that at some point during the event, we send out a code word. You send us that code word via email, depending on what campus you're from. It's a different email. And this event's code word is, I'm going to put it in the chat so everyone can see. 2 words, it's be involved. So just send us that code word to get a special prize if you are a global student or a student from any other campus that happens to be visiting us today. Feel free to send us that. So moving on, Ramon, if you would like to share a screen, talk to us a little bit about well-being online.
Yeah, usually I'd make y'all a sweet PowerPoint, but I figured it would be better to utilize our websites and kind of show you how to navigate everything that we use. If you do want to see some of my, impromptu PowerPoints, you can always watch some of my webinars. But my name is Ramon Sedano. I work over at the Rec Center on WSU's campus. I work as the coordinator of fitness services and strength conditioning. So I oversee our personal training, weight room, small group training, strength and conditioning departments, as well as I oversee this program called Wellbeing Online, which is our outreach really to all of you global campus students. As you can see up here, what we're trying to do is give you resources and items to be able to help develop and optimize what we consider the 8 dimensions of well-being, which would be physical, social, occupational, emotional, environmental, financial, and spiritual well-being. Our website has all kinds of cool stuff on it. So I'm just going to go through some of the resources that we have for you to see and kind of take you through them. So you can see we're going to have on this website all these different kind of, well-being topics that you can go and look into, and we have different resources on them for you to be able to kind of go through and see different videos and all this kind of stuff on any of these different topics that we're referring to. We keep this updated about every semester. We're going to go on there and put new information so it doesn't get, out of date or doesn't get redundant and those kinds of things. We have all kinds of different stuff on there for each one of the dimensions. Also on our website, we have a calendar of events that we'll do. And so it's still on summer 2020. I'm going to update it on Monday for the fall 2020 events. And you'll see that I involve, some of the things that I do on here, as well as the mental health reimbursement. Another thing that's really going to fall within our dimensions of well-being, it's going to be on here as well. Some of the cool things that we do have on here is I provide a workout of the day every single, or a workout of the week really, but I have changed it to our workout of the day. So it takes you to our UREC website where you can see since COVID has started, we have put a ton of workouts of the day in here. So you can always go and check out any one of these workouts if you want to get a quick at-home based workout in. All these are developed to be at-home based workouts. So it used to just be a weekly workout, but now since the whole COVID started, we want to be able to provide you with all that we do on here. Another cool thing that we do is what we call the CyberKook Fitness Club. And a lot of people sometimes find it difficult to see where our CyberKook Fitness Club information's at, but it is on our Wellbeing website. And again, that's wellbeingonline.wsu.edu. Our our CyberKook Fitness program is twofold now. It used to be just simply where each semester students can apply to receive a reimbursement on the gym membership that they're using each semester. So each semester you can submit an application form that's found on this website, and we will reimburse you for up to $125 of your gym membership. There's some stipulations that go with it. Part-time students are only eligible for up to $100. Full-time students are eligible for up to $125. And then we want to see that you're maintaining some healthy habits as well, and that's what gets you, the total amount. Since a lot of gyms are closed around the nation right now, we added another attribute to our CyberKook Fitness Club program, where you can also apply for free online personal training sessions with the UREC personal trainers. So something I've been trying to develop for quite some time was the ability for our personal trainers here at the REC to work online, and it was just kind of a slow process. And when, COVID hit, we were like, all right, we can hop to it. And a lot of our sessions had to turn to online anyways with our in-person clients. So now we're outreaching to global campus students to be able to take those as well. For the CyberKook Fitness Club program, if you are a full-time student, you can be eligible for up to 4 free personal training sessions. And if a part-time student, you're eligible for up to 3 free personal training sessions. All you have to do is go to our website, and you'll see this is the application for the free personal training sessions. And it's an easy walkthrough how to, put your information in here, and we'll contact you within 3 business days to get these set up. For the gym membership reimbursements, this happens each semester, and the deadline to submit for fall semester is November 15th, and we'll place those reimbursements on your account by December. The only difference with the gym membership reimbursements is you'll have to submit some documentation showing your receipt of your gym. So it needs to show your name, how much you're paying, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, just the name of your gym, and your name and how much you're paying each semester, and we'll be able to reimburse you for that. So you can choose whichever ones that you would like to do, but you can't do both. It's either the gym membership reimbursements or it's going to be the free personal training sessions. So the CyberKook Fitness Club program has really been blowing up over time. I think we've increased by something like 87% in the last 3 years. I feel like students are learning more and more about it, and all the information's on here. You can see the deadlines, what's expected, and all that. So it's a really cool program for you all to try out, and I really encourage you to try out the free online personal training sessions. It seems they're getting a lot of good feedback. With that, we do have the ability for all of Global Campus students to even purchase online personal training sessions with our students. So even if after, the free sessions were done, you wanted to continue training on, you do have the ability to purchase free personal trainings, not free, online personal training sessions from our personal trainers. However, you do have the ability this semester to get free online fitness classes through UREC. So I don't oversee the group fitness program, but I work alongside the coordinator who does it. And we do have free fitness classes for any student, whether you're a Global Campus student, you're an on-campus Pullman student, you're a Spokane student, you're in Vancouver, any student who has the ability to just have a student ID can go to our UREC website and register for any one of our online fitness classes. And those are from Zumba to yoga to core to cardio blast, to even some of the Les Mills classes like body pump and those kinds of items. That is on our UREC website, which is urec.wsu.edu. Again, that's urec.wsu.edu. And those are free for the entire semester. Some of the other things that we do is I work with Global Connections a lot. So I work with Andrea to be able to do webinars each semester. I typically do 2 webinars each semester. We've done things like introduction to intermittent fasting, introduction to the ketogenic diet, how to build your own program, fitness myths, introduction to nutrition, how to make things simple. And this semester, the ones we've decided to do, we're going to be working on one is the 101 of shoes. So different types of workout shoes, when you want to wear Olympic lifting shoes compared to cross training shoes, compared to running shoes, and just kind of break down what shoes are and when is the proper time to utilize them in different fitness formats. And then also a big topic that I feel like needs to be talked about that really isn't in this time is how to boost your immune system. So we're going to have another webinar that is going to discuss some easy strategies from nutrition to basic supplementation, sleep, all those things that can help boost your immune system. So that was another one that we're going to be putting on this semester. And the dates for those will be coming out. We just developed the titles and descriptions of them, but I'm sure Andrea and I will meet here soon to figure out those exact dates. Other items that we utilize, we send out mailers and HTMLs each month, just either reminding you about the CyberKook Fitness Club program and the deadlines coming up, or maybe like a basic like, hey, here's 3 easy tips to be able to eat real food and stay healthy and those kinds of things, and we mail those out. Already talked about the online personal training sessions. Another thing that we do with Global Campus is any one of our special events that we have here on campus, we try to involve Global Campus as well. A big one that we've been utilizing is called our UFit 4.0 program, and that is it's a 9-week program for Global Campus students. It's 12 weeks for the ones on campus, but you agree to either do your own workout program or follow our workout program, and you monitor your attendance, and you are going to, it's like you maintain 2 times a week to work out, and you mark your attendance on a Qualtrics document that we obtain, and at the end of the program you write like a little essay, just no longer than a page, about how agreeing to stay fit throughout a certain time frame has affected your overall well-being, and how it's also affected your overall academic performance. Because one of the things that we've seen is that academic performance is actually benefited from regular physical activity. There's certain things that happen in the brain that boost neurological power, that aid in memory retention and things like that. So that's why it's called UFit 4.0. So we try to encourage that. We picked 2 winners from it, and those 2 winners are able to obtain a $1,000 scholarship each. And I believe we've had 3 years now with Global Campus doing it, and going into this spring, it's in the spring semester, it'll be our 4th year doing it. So that's a really cool thing that we do. Other programs that we've had is like our Pac-12 Fitness Challenge. That's not going to be happening this year, unfortunately, but any special event that we have going on, we'll typically throw together something for Global Campus students to be able to abide by it as well. And then finally, we do have a Wellbeing Online fitness page or Facebook page, which Andrea was so nice in helping me run for a while, but we're going to have one of my personal trainers taking it over. So she'll be posting, weekly tips, tricks, and kinds of things like that to stay healthy. So you will see me at all kinds of the events whenever we get back to doing rendezvous, online things like this. We try to stay as present as possible. I do have some assistants that help me as well with it, but our whole goal is to be able to help you understand different ways that you can optimize those 8 dimensions of well-being, and how just being physically fit, it's good, but we want to be able to have all those 8 dimensions balanced out, because that's what's really going to help overall optimize that well-being. So that's my little spiel, and I hope to see you at some of my webinars coming up. They're really fun, so please join us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ramon. And yeah, like he said, definitely stay tuned to connections.wsu.edu. We will be putting up the registration for those webinars very soon. So next we have James Hopland to talk to us about esports. I know a lot of you had a lot of questions about esports, so James, take it away.
Hi, thank you for giving me the moment to speak about esports and what we're trying to do here at WSU Global Campus. My name is James Hopland. I'm the esports coordinator for Global Campus. And this year in particular, we are launching what we are calling the Global Esports Program. We are one of the first, I believe we are the only Pac-12 school to actually have an esports program set up, designed for our global students as a way to engage them into the overall competition scene here at WSU. We are working this year with 9 of the other Pac-12 schools to create basically a Pac-12 gaming league, where you will be able to join and participate and represent Coug Nation no matter where you are in the country, which I think is very, very cool. We are looking at flexing to a bunch of different games depending on the interest level and what the other schools can do. But currently we are looking at League of Legends, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Smash Brothers, and Rocket League. So we're going to be running some tryouts. We're going to be doing some competitions there. We're also working very, very closely with the esports club at University Recreation. They are a recognized sports club. They have about 250 to 260 members right now. They also have a bunch of pug nights, game nights. They have a very live and thriving community over there. They do a lot of public engagement. They do a lot of interaction and engagement, trying to get as many people on for like online game nights, trivia, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very cool. The other thing we're doing with UREC this year, and we're really pushing it more so than ever, is esports intramurals. So no matter whether you want to go really competitive and go for like the actual varsity esports stuff, or if you just want to have fun and just relax, meet some new people, the intramurals program is open there for you as well. Right now they are focusing mainly on League of Legends, Madden, FIFA, NBA 2K, and Rocket League in various team sizes. Esports, especially right now, obviously in the COVID world, is one of the things that never has to stop. With everything being online, you can always participate, you can always jump in, and it's going to be very, very cool, to be able to have, the virtual Appo Cup this November, where WSU is going to be taking on UW in about a week-long fight to the finish. We're hoping to do a best of 5. Whoever wins, 3 out of the 5 games takes home the virtual Apple Cup this year. So we have a lot of stuff. Going on and coming down the pipe with WSU Global Esports. It should be pretty exciting. And that is mainly what I have for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James. We did have a few questions on that, but before we get to that, so I've seen a couple of questions coming in. We're just going to have the rest of the time as a question and answer. So if you have any more questions, please let me know. And James just put a couple of links in the chat if you want to check those out for the Esports Club Discord. So I want to go to Justin really quick. So Justin, I apologize if you mentioned this, but someone had asked if there were any fees to join the Psychology Club.
There are no fees to join the Psychology Club. For Psi Chi, which is an honor society, international requires a membership fee, although it's one time and lifetime. So once you've paid it, that's it, and you never have to pay again. And for Psychology Club itself, like there's just straight up no fees to join.
Okay, thank you. So James, I've had a couple of people ask if there are any more consoles going to be included as part of esports, or is it just PC?
Right now, it is primarily PC because that is what most of the other schools are focusing on. We do want to bring in Smash Brothers and other Switch games and other console games, but it just depends on if we could get the interest here at WSU that we could try to talk to the other schools and find competitions for you. If you are really dead set on a certain title or a certain game, we will try to make that work for you.
Okay. Perfect. And someone is asking if they could invite their international students to participate in this, or should they contact the rec center for that?
There should be no barrier to having the N2 students be able to join the program or join the team. We would need to talk maybe outside the chat about logistics with that, but currently there's no restrictions on that.
Okay. We also had a couple of questions on time commitment. So what would be the time commitment to join the club?
So typically, depending on the game that you're signing up for, the matches themselves could be anywhere between, 2 to 3 hours a week. And then on top of practice, we're looking at 2 other sessions of about 2 hours. So you're looking at the main bulk about 10 hours a week. And then that could flex to more if you have time or if you want to do anything else like private coaching or anything like that. But it's at least 10 hours.
Okay. Perfect. And I know you mentioned sports games. That was one of the questions, so that was cleared up. But someone's asking specifically about Pokemon. if that's ever in the future to be played.
Again, I have played every Pokemon game. I play Pokemon Go relentlessly still. So I would love to get Pokemon in there. It just depends on if we can find the framework and the interest to facilitate that for you. It'd be fantastic. And I know I've already spoken to the ASWSU Global, their events director, about possibly doing some monthly events, monthly pickup games, Jackbox, stuff like that. And I've actually been contacted about Global Campus D&D because I see chat talking about it right now. So
yes, a lot of interest in the chat. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. D&D Club, yes. So if anyone else has any questions on that, please let me know. Shifting gears a little bit. So I don't know if Andrea, maybe you could answer this one for us. I had someone ask what events throughout the semester could maybe students from other campuses join us in?
Oh, online events and so students from other campuses? Yeah, sure. I would just always check our website, theconnections.wsu.edu. And usually on there, we'll try to say if it's system-wide or if it's global campus specific. But there's so many times, like we've done, you know, any of Ramon's webinars that he does, that's open to anybody that's interested, really. And then also common reading events and our game nights. We do open bingo up to even staff at WSU, you know, and that's always fun too, to have even maybe a professor playing bingo along with students. And so I would just always check. And then I know the events.wsu.edu is trying to be more mindful of posting what is open to system-wide versus particular campuses as well. I hope that answers the question.
All right. Well, someone had also asked where can they find the specific clubs or groups to join?
We don't have those yet for Global Campus. Like I said, right now we really just have the Psych Club, but I'm wanting to utilize this year of our virtual being that we're having to reach out and connect with those other clubs and ask some of those clubs at other campuses that are already established, hey, do you mind our Global Campus students participating as well? And so I really just need you to send me that email of what clubs you're interested in. Even if you already have a contact, maybe this club at Tri-Cities you're interested in or at Pullman, let me know and then I'll reach out to them and I'll try to get those connections made for you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.